Hey, what's up guys? It's Raven here. Today I have a 21st Panzer Division gameplay cast. As you know, the 21st Panzer Division was released a couple days ago along with the 2nd French Armored Division, the Division Blindée, as Mad Matt would say. And both of them are actually really nice decks. I enjoy both of them even though they play really differently. And this video is a companion to my 21st Panzer Division deck video, which I'll have linked up here somewhere probably. And I definitely encourage you to check that out. But anyways, this is just a replay I played from a game I played yesterday. It's a 4v4. My team, I know a couple of the guys on my team, but I don't know Towel. And I get the impression the other team had at least a few people that play together, but I'm not sure they were a full stack either. So it was actually a pretty even game and a pretty fun game too. It's one of the games I've had the most fun in Steel Division so far. So of course I want to talk about it. The game is 43 minutes long, so I'm gonna probably fast forward a lot, and as always, I'm generally gonna focus on my side, even though there's obviously a lot of interesting stuff happening over here, just because I want to talk about this specific deck and the specific gameplay that went into it. So just starting off, let's look at my starting deployment. I have 4 infantry squads, Panzer Grenadiers in half tracks. They're kind of going up. Let me show you where I'm going. See, I hold in shift and I can see the deployment where everything's moving. So I have my infantry squads. I'm spreading out across the front line. I have a couple of recon off Klar in SPW 222, which are really nasty armored cars. You'll see that in a minute. I have a tankette, the Panzer 35S. It's a captured French tank, which I'm sending to the left, and I have the S307 pack gun, which is also a modified French vehicle that has a Pack 40 strapped onto it, which is kind of a tank destroyer. I'm sending that to the right. And I also have a command armored car. So, first contact is this Panzer Grenadier comes up the road. I see Panjam, the guy I'm playing against, he's got stuff up here fired, so I'm trying to get into cover, get behind that ridge line to shelter from the 50 cal fire. But at this point, I'm kind of in trouble because you see, I deployed. How do I want to say this? I deployed wide, but not as wide as my enemy. So I shouldn't say enemy. I should say opponent. He's not my enemy. He's actually fun to play. But so Panjam, he's got this little battle group here, and a couple units on this side too. So he did a really good job, like deploying across his entire front line here, which is interesting, and I think it's also a good strategy. But he wasn't like very thick in terms of. See, I have this little push here in the line. I have this push here, and he didn't have good coverage across like the. Between his 3 battle groups, say. And so that kind of works against him here, but he does get this stuff along the corner. He sees from the way the line's bulging here that I don't have anything in front of him, and I think he kind of smells blood, because he puts his vehicles on the road and starts moving down. But I mean, to his credit, this is actually pretty well done. He's got his infantry squad over here, he's kind of screening. He's going to probably put it in here somewhere to try and stop units over here from cutting him off, and he's moving his tank and his half-track over here. He's going to have the half-track screen his tank, and he's got his recon unit kind of on the flank. I would have had the recon unit over here, actually, because it's more important to be able to see what's over here. But anyways, he made my infantry squad retreat because I was on the tree line and his tank saw it. But look at this. So, switch to my view, or his view real quick. So I have my command armored car in the tree line. I have my pack gun, which isn't spotted right now. It can just barely see the tank. See, he can't see it yet. It opens fires. It misses. So that's not too good. See, it's about to fire again. Just a little bit of stress. Fires it misses. Like, god dang it. So okay. I gotta pull it back because it's getting machine gunned. So I'm almost out of range of the tank, and I get into falling back. And why are you falling back this way? The tank gets panicked by my 222, and this stupid pack gun is trying to make a run for it. He gets almost out of sight of the M8, and he gets driver wounded. Look at how close I am to being out of sight of that M8. Driver wounded 30 seconds. Like he's done. Boom. There he goes. That was really annoying and really unlucky, and almost a freak occurrence, but it really like hurt me there. I'll talk about this in a second, but it should be noted, like with the 21st Panzer Division, it's really a Phase C deck. Like you're holding on for that Phase C, and the deck I'm playing against is a really strong Phase A contender. You can see he has 105 income in Phase A, and I only have 85, and he has a lot of strong units front loaded, whereas mine is like the King Tigers. So you can see, so I'm really trying to kind of just hang on, and I don't want to lose in Phase A, and that's kind of what I'm in danger of here, because I just lost my tank destroyer. I'm about to fight with this tank over here. If I lose this tank over here, like I'm in big trouble. I did call this other tank up. This is freshly arrived, so it's coming up to try and counter this thrust. And we'll see, look at this. So, I have my Panzer. I think I shot once and missed already, but I didn't miss. I got him transmission damaged. Next shot, weapons damaged. This is really lucky, by the way. Like, probably the Steward should have won this engagement because he fires quicker. But my first shot damaged his transmission, second weapon damaged him, so he couldn't fire, and then the third killed him. So that was kind of the counterpoint to what happened over here. Like, I got really unlucky with that tank destroyer, but honestly, I got pretty lucky with this too. And also, I got lucky with my 222 from, I think, almost 800 meters away. It panicked that Steward. Granted, it was firing from behind. You see, I did move the 222 over to cut off this thrust, and I was kind of flanking him, and that's what saved me in this particular position, because I was able to move this over. I don't know why the Steward isn't surrendering, actually. It really should surrender. In fact, they literally bump into each other there, and my 222 shoots him in the side, just like, and kills him. I do make the M8 fall back with my tankette, and I'm moving with my 222 to kind of wrap it up. So at this point, I've really controlled this thrust on the flank, and I've managed to recover. 222 takes care of the M8 pretty easily because it's falling back, obviously. Eventually I kill it. Kill those two, and soon I'll kill that. So it buttons up this side, and because I was able to kill the Steward here, I really took the wind out of Panjam's sails, and that's kind of tough. Like, he has the income to recover from losing the initial engagement, which obviously he did. He has 2 Stewards, and he has a Wolverine coming down as well. So, I mean, he's basically recovered, and I think once all his stuff gets to the front, he's actually maybe even a little stronger than I am right now. But had he been able to win maybe a little bit more luck in that opening engagement, it really would have been dangerous. You see on the left and in the middle even, we're not doing so well. We're actually behind right now, 53% to 47%. We're red, obviously, because we're Axis. So even though I won my side as the overall game, we're kind of behind right now. So let me just speed up a little bit. I got my anti-tank gun up here because I want to... This is kind of like a big open field in front of me, so I want to make sure I cover it. Look at that, the 222 just side-shotted that Steward. Might have even counted as a rear shot, but just from... What is that? Almost 500 meters, he just killed it in like one little burst. These 222s with the elite veterancy, they are nasty. They're probably one of the best units in this deck's Phase A. If you have a commander with him, like I do, they become 3 stars, and they're just really effective, and they're really something you have to rely on in this deck in Phase A. And remember, this is a recon unit. It comes with the Off-Clarer squad, which is the recon unit, and then you can use the transport, which is what I'm doing. That's what the 222 is. So, let's see. On the left, my opponent is advancing a little bit. This is an M10A1. It's a tank destroyer. The French get it in Phase A, which is really powerful. It's kind of like a mini Firefly, but with HE damage and a 50 cal. He's pushing on the left with that. I do have my AT gun poking up here. I'm going to kill that half-track, but the Stuart forces me to pull back, even though I would have liked to kill him too. I did get to spot that AT gun though, so I'm trying to mortar it. So I've recovered over here, but my opponent, he's got his M8, he's got his M10, he's still pushing through. The line's bulging here, so he sees a gap, but luckily I had my anti-tank gun coming up the road, so I unloaded him and start to fire. I think he actually got a little bit overconfident here because he saw the break in the lines and thought he, again, like I think he maybe smelled blood. This player in general, he was really aggressive, and I told my teammates, like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, because he was pushing me, and he wasn't the kind of guy that like deploys back here and kind of sits on his butt the whole game. So I was a little bit worried, and it's really hard to deal with this M10A1 in the early game for my deck. Luckily I got my AT gun out here and deployed, so I took a shot at him. Missed, unfortunately, so he turns towards me. That is 8 front armor compared to my 10 AP guns, so I'm not really assured to penetrate him. But what I did was I ducked my 222 out. The 222 can penetrate the side of the M10 real easy, because the M10 only has 3 armor. So because I poked my 222 out, the M10 turns to face him, and in turn that shows the side to my AT gun. So whatever he did, he was going to show the side to something that killed him. At that point the AT gun had fired twice already, so his third shot had gotten pretty accurate. And that was just his tank got overexposed and overextended. And because I was able to flank it, I was able to kill it really well, really easily. And that was a big win for me, because it neutralized a unit that is really difficult for me to deal with in Phase A. You notice Phase B is going to start again pretty soon. This is something I wanted to comment on too. We're actually, if you think about the map like this, maybe the halfway point is like right here or so. So I'm maybe a little bit behind or even, but like the player at this city is too far back. The player here is okay, and then on the left we're maybe a little pushback. But there's this big gap in the middle because the players at the 2 cities didn't really extend to cover it very well. The player right here sees it and moves to neutralize it, but that's kind of like a big loss. That's probably like 1 or 2% of the map just right there. If not for that, we would have been even. By now, the French player has recovered a bit. See, he's bringing in more units. And again, this is just, he has that huge income in the early phases, but after Phase A, he starts to fall off. We're about even. And by Phase C, I'm just like totally ahead. Let's see. So he's got his M8 here. I'm bringing up my tank to counter it. That's actually a pretty good matchup because I have more armor and more accuracy, but less veterancy. I managed to shoot first, so I make him panic and run away. Although I didn't manage to finish him off. He broke through his half-track right there, but it was just as my Befehl Panzer IV came up. And that's really like the cavalry arrives, because Phase B you get the Panzer IV, and that's equal to pretty much anything he has, at least for the most part. And so now I'm fighting him on equal terms. I'm not behind him anymore in terms of unit quality. And I have the Panzer IV just set up here ready to shoot. I knew that tank was pushing through the orchard, so I just waited for him and shot him. This is a different Panzer 35S, but I win the engagement with the M8 again. Make him fall back, and then I think actually the 222 does a burst and kills him, shoot him in the side. Let's see. I tried to push up a little bit, but he managed to counter it and push my infantry back. And of course I'm RDing that anti-tank gun that I can't remember how I saw that, but I knew it was there. So now I have 3 French tankettes and 2 Panzer IVs on the field, compared to the enemy has, or the opponent has 1 Sherman and another one coming up. So I've really done a good counterattack here. I've managed to wipe out most of his infantry, and I've traded positively on the tanks. So now I'm in a much stronger position than him, just in terms of armored vehicles and units on the field. Because remember, I won the initial engagement, and I won the secondary engagement, so now he really is behind, and it's almost Phase C, so his income is no longer higher than mine, and I'm about to have even more than him. So, He does have that Wolverine come up though. The Wolverine's still not easy to deal with in this phase. Because it's better than my Panzer IV because it has more range and more accuracy. But luckily, again, because I was I was kind of hidden here and I saw him coming, so I was able to shoot first. So I panicked him before he panicked me, and we're kind of just tied. Now I did, because he was almost fully panicked, the Panzer 35S, I moved up here, shot him one more time, and made him fall back. At this point, I don't need to kill him, I just need to run my Pioneers up to make him surrender, which they do here, right there. So that was another great getting rid of the M10 just relieves so much pressure from me. On the other hand, he has two Shermans come up. One of them saw my AT gun and shot just before it fired. Bounced a shell on that Sherman, missed another one, bombed, down falling back. This is, again, this is a really aggressive player. Like, as soon as he senses a condition where he can make progress, he fast moves down the road and tries to go into the gap. Like, he should be playing Rommel's division, not me. But this is really crappy because I have infantry coming up. I'm trying to get close enough to fight with him. I didn't unload this quite quick enough. I unloaded it too late. So they saw the infantry, they shot the transport, which it didn't hit the infantry, but it pinned him, you see? And now he's moving through. He knows this stuff's panicked because he shot it and he bombed it. He knows this infantry's panicked. Kills that Panzer. I think he kills that one. He should have had a screen here, but, you know, he saw the opportunity and he rushed in with what he had. But it would have been a lot better if he'd had some more infantry and something to be in front of them, in front of the tanks. So you see, at this point, I had that Panzer tried to shoot the side of that tank. It missed, but it panicked it. This infantry squad is recovered, so he's going to take a shot. He kills that tank, and then I had a Kanonenvogel Stuka kill that other tank. I killed them both at the same time, which wasn't planned, but the timing ended up being really well. This is I bought it in, like, as soon as Phase C hit, I think I bought this to try and counter those Shermans. This is a really effective tank buster plane against light and medium tanks, and I managed to... Thankfully, that helped me recover there a lot, because as you can see, this Panzer Grenadier squad got pinned again, so there's no guarantee he would have been able to kill that second tank. So a really kind of lucky recovery there. See, I managed to spot that bazooka squad before he shot my Panzer 35. And of course, at this point, I have the King Tiger coming up. The King Tiger is very much the crown jewel of this deck. It's 19 armor, 22 AP. It's expensive as all get out, but this is the tank you're relying on. It is the saving grace of this deck, and it is the power spike that you're hanging on for in Phase C. Because now the French deck's basically shot its bolt. It's nowhere near as strong as mine anymore. He had the advantage in Phase A and a little bit in Phase B, but he didn't manage to get enough momentum to hold me down. And now I'm so much stronger than him, and I have my King Tiger, and there's just really nothing his deck has that can efficiently deal with it. Unfortunately, we're still down. We're a little behind in pretty much everywhere else on the map. And I'm not even maybe pushed up as much as I should be, because this terrain's kind of difficult for tanks to go through. I maybe should have been a little more aggressive here. I needed a little bit more infantry and starting to push into this area. And if I could have secured this ground. So just because of how the game turned out, I needed to leverage my success to kind of compensate a little bit for not winning as much on the other sides. And I should have done that a little bit better. But now my King Tiger's here. He can see that M8, and boom, you're done. And like I said, at this point, there's really nothing his deck has that can handle me. And I know I'm ready to make my push. I'm starting to go forward. King Tiger's out in front, being escorted by my Befehl Panzer? No, here it's coming, the Befehl Panzer. Move him over to help my King Tiger. Now when they start bombing individual infantry squads moving over the open, that's when you know they're in trouble, because he doesn't want to let me get into any of these places, so he's risking a 200-point plane to bomb a 35-point infantry squad. You see now I do have my infantry moving up a little bit. I'm kind of taking the initiative. I think maybe too little too late, but I'm doing the best I can right now. What's that thing? These Panzer 35Ss are actually really nice. I had 3 in my deck, and at least 2 are still alive right now. Like, really, like, they were really effective for me, especially at this range. Again, when he smokes across this open field, you know he's in trouble. I mean, that none of what he did with the planes was bad. Those were all good moves, but I'm just saying, because I see him doing these things, I know he's desperate. So I hit that Steward over there. I'm not really eager to just like advance through the smoke. I know that's kind of a trap, so I just wait for it. King Tiger kills that M10. He's about to kill this other one, I think. Actually, let's see. So he's behind this bunker right here. So I see him moving up. So I switch directions, move this way to get a shot on him. Managed to kill him. To wait a little while for the turret to traverse, but then I get him. And that he does have his M10. At this point, he actually said GG, which, I mean, they're 1,000 points ahead, but it's true. I think I do pretty much have him broken right now. And I was kind of wondering why he didn't have more infantry, but it occurred to me the French deck just doesn't have much infantry. Like, they're really limited numbers per card. There's not that many cards, and I looked at his deck, and sure enough, I think he had run out at this point. Like, what he has right here is basically what he has left, I think. And so he's scrambling to get in. He doesn't have infantry to cover, you know, this area, or really cover this area well. He doesn't have any support vehicles to cover that area. And but like I said, at this point his deck had just run out of steam, and he was really just because of the deck he was playing, he was kind of done at this point. Like, there wasn't much he could do against me, certainly against my King Tiger. Didn't have the infantry, and I'm just rolling over him. Like, I can go all the way to their spawn, really. He calls out a 76 Sherman, and smoked. I don't know if I smoked there or someone did. But anyways, like, I mean, look how close I can get to their spawn. Now, unfortunately, he did have that right there. And I could have moved my King Tiger up, but the problem is that, like, this happens and then the spawn's right here. And it's not just this guy, like, his whole team can just dump stuff over here. And he pretty much does. There's my King Tiger, almost killed the 76 Sherman. But so this is from a different player. That's from a different player. So their whole team, because this is where we're making progress, their whole team starts to just dump stuff here. So that's kind of a problem, an issue I have with the game right now, is like, even if I have a big breakthrough over here, it gets to the point, like, look at all this stuff just spawning over here. It would be nice if you could neutralize spawns a little bit quicker, because if I was going to neutralize a spawn, I'd have to have stuff like all right around here, and I couldn't quite get that close. And now it's like there's no limit to the stuff they could just dump in there, the points from 4 players. And that, you know, that's pretty much it. So this is as far as I can go, really. And you see it's enough. I have 55%. The problem is we've run out of time by now, basically. Of course, you couldn't see it, but I overran this section of the map too. So, and they did deploy a couple things in front of me here, but unfortunately, just because, I mean, we're making progress, like I think this area should be a little bit more pushed, but we're good here. On the left, we're starting to overrun them, because I think he was a 21st Panzer as well. So, I mean, we did really good. Like, we have the moral victory, you could say, because, you know, we're winning now, we have more ground, but we didn't do it fast enough. See, here's another King Tiger. We didn't do it fast enough, and with only 2 minutes left, I mean, unless we get +2, we're not really gonna manage it. See, they're just dumping planes at me. They're stopping my Stukas from killing those. I do have my King Tigers, one here and one here, just kind of messing stuff up. Of course, he's trying to bomb me, but I had some planes to mess him up. trading shells with my King Tigers. Like, this is an awful position for the Allied player to be in, because he's in this big open field. He's trying to fire at me at about 800, 900, 1,000 meter range. That's where the King Tigers are literally the kings. You know, that's the ideal engagement for them. If you have something like a 76 Sherman or a Wolverine, don't try and shoot a Tiger in the front unless you're literally at like 200, 300 meter range. Like, if you're trying to trade hits at this long a distance, it's just not going to work. And you see all these burnt out tanks kind of testify to that. But I mean, that's okay. They're just kind of holding me back for 2 minutes. But anyways, that's pretty much the game. We only have 8 minutes left. We actually are +2 now. We got to +2, but unfortunately, the game's only 40 minutes long, and we just ran out of time. You see, my actually KD is really good there. I even better than 3-1. Like, I did really well, but again, we're playing Conquest, so it's not about the kill death. It's about the taking the ground and managing to get it secured, and we didn't quite do that quick enough, and so the end result is it says minor victory, but it's because of how the replays work. Obviously, the Allies won this game. They have minor victory. Actually, all of my allies are at least a little and sometimes very positive in KD, so as a whole, our team had a really great KD compared to theirs, but, it's the territory, so we didn't manage to get it, and as a result, we lost. Let's see, I don't know if there's anything too interesting here. Oh, wait, I can't see my KD because it's someone else's. So yeah, that's pretty much the game then. Like I said, I did a 21st Panzer Division deck video, which you can watch. I made it after this game, so my deck's a little bit differently, and maybe incorporated some of the lessons I learned in this game. And I definitely would suggest you check it out, and please leave feedback on this video if you liked it, if what I talked about, or maybe I should talk about some other stuff. Anyways, let me know. And that's about it, so take care, and thanks for watching.